Good morning everyone. I hope you've had a lovely bank holiday weekend. I've had a very manic weekend at work. It's been very rewarding and we've seen some lovely cases and some lovely people, but it's nice to have some time off, and I've been dreaming of being at home on the farm and catching up with the animals and some planting and some time in the polytunnel. So these lovely succulents and orchids have been gifted to me by one of the vets that I work with. She's actually she's going home, she's going back to Australia, so she's clearing her house, and obviously she can't take these with her, so she's very kindly given them to me. So I've just popped them here for now to have a little look and work out what I'm going to do with them. I have an orchid of my own, which has been doing brilliantly. It's flowered and flowered and flowered in the house, but I think it's ready to be repotted. So I've just got to get some orchid compost. I've got a pot ready to move it on to her, I say, she. So yeah, so that's the job I'm looking forward to. These guys, I think I might just leave as they are for now, and just let them sort of settle. They will go in the house. They're just out here while I sort of assess them really, and then I will find somewhere in the house for them, let them readjust to having moved, and then I'll have a little think about to potting them on. The greenhouse, the polytunnel. I've pretty much worked the entire bank holiday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been manic. The lovely Chris has been keeping on top of everything for me. But sometimes it's quite nice, you know. I know it's all been watered and looked after, but to just not be here for a few days and then come back and see the difference. So these sweet peas, the ones that were nibbled by the mice, are actually doing really well. The ones I planted that I thought were going to be, you know, a bit behind, I've caught up and in fact are looking better than the originals. I've got a few carrot seedlings coming up. All the other plants, the pumpkins are looking amazing. My tomatoes, I can't believe how healthy my tomatoes are looking. This may be my year for tomatoes. The nasturtium have finally decided to sort of start growing, so they'll need planting out, and the calendula, they need to be planted out. The leeks I'm going to move out, so there's lots of things that need planting out, but everything's looking really, really healthy and really, really green. I've taken some advice from the lovely Erica from Erica's Little Welsh Garden about my pumpkins. I've no idea what variety they are. I lost the packet. I'm usually very organised, but yeah, I've just written pumpkin on them, but first year I've grown them, so I've taken some advice, and I'm going to move those out at some point, but I need to allocate them some space. I know they need quite a lot of space. Good old perpetual spinach, as per, is just fabulous. I need to take the tops off that, and I'll probably make a salad later. So moving down the polytunnel, everything's just looking great. Really, really pleased. Those radish that I transplanted are looking quite healthy now. There's lots in the hanging baskets. Things that were looking quite weedy and pathetic are actually looking really, maybe it's me. maybe I should leave Chris in charge more often. I suspect it's actually the fact that it's been so warm, and they've been well watered and everything has done really well. Strawberry plants, they're just loving the space that they've got, so definitely the right decision to move those. And we have some potatoes. Potatoes are starting to pop up. Yeah, so really, really good. So I'll just update you on a little bit of what we're doing outside as well, and then I'm going to just have a really lovely relaxing day pottering about on the farm. So the rhubarb that I moved from the polytunnel and planted out here is we've lost a few leaves, but the rest of it's starting to come now and it's looking much healthier. So I think it's got over its initial shock, and it's going to settle itself down and grow nicely for me. And the onions and garlic, they're coming along nicely. I do need to spend a bit of time down that bottom end and break the soil up, and then I'm just going to add a bit of compost into that, and that's where the leeks are going to go. Project while I'm off, I've actually got 8 days off now, so definitely going to pick a day where it's not windy, get that tarpaulin back, and get the cardboard down there. I've also got some leftover big bale haylage. There's about a quarter of a bale left that we've not used over the sort of tail end of the winter into spring for the horses, which is just sitting. So I'm going to use that as well. That's quite effective. So and it'll break down quite nicely and help to add some organic matter there and make that soil really lovely for planting in when we're ready to plant there. So that's a project to be done over the next few days. I've bought some seaweed, organic seaweed liquid fertiliser, just to give everything a little bit of a boost, especially in that bed over there. I didn't really put as much new compost in that this year as I would have liked, so having planted in it already and grown quite a lot last season and over the winter, really it needs a bit of a feed, so I will be using that later on as well. And the chickens are loving this warm weather. There's two over there enjoying a dust bath. And we also give them any grass clippings which they love scratching about in. Oh, you missed that. That was a lovely big shake. All that dust came flying out. Happy, happy chickens. And this is the bed next to the woodshed, which is now ready for planting. It's been dressed with compost. And the hanging baskets, there's one here and one on the other side. I don't know if I can show you from here, if I stretch around. That's the bed, which again is ready for planting, that we built, and you may just be able to see on the other end another hanging basket. And those are the geraniums that I bought last week in Lidl, which I managed to plant up before the bank holiday weekend, so at least I felt I'd achieved something. So it's a lovely sunny day here. I'm thoroughly enjoying not being at work, although I love my job. It was a pretty exhausting weekend. So I hope you've enjoyed my little update. I hope you've all had a fabulous bank holiday weekend, those of you that have managed to get out onto your plots, allotments, farms, polytunnels, greenhouses, whatever you may have, or window boxes, whatever it is you enjoy growing, and I hope you've had a cracking time. And for those of you that were working, I hope it's not been too demanding, and I hope that you can get some restful time and some growing time, or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. I'm really looking forward to riding the horses this week, walking the dogs, pottering about. I have dressage competition on Sunday, so fingers crossed that that goes well. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing if you like my content, and hit that bell to get notifications of my new videos. Have a lovely day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. Bye.